Alright, so this is the third work in progress video for the soft vinyl Ricodom 2, and this video I'm going to cover painting the kit, and I'm going to be doing a little technique called, generally around the internet called the Max Watanabe technique, because it was kind of pioneered by a Japanese modeler named Max Watanabe, who does really good stuff. If you don't know who he is, just Google him. So the general idea is that you're going to be on the base coat, you're going to be doing all sorts of colors. I kind of wish I had not had this green and yellow painted on here so you could see it, but you can still kind of tell that up under that green and yellow paint, I've got yellow, green, blue, red, purple, I think white as well. And I just did all this with a hand brush, and then you put your main color on top of it, and what that's going to do is it's going to give you your main color, but it's going to have all these variations up underneath. It's going to give it a very uneven, it's kind of hard to describe, just a very lots of different tones and things going on up under there. And here's a black and white example. You can see all those different colors, and you can make it more dramatic, like it's a bit more dramatic on this one. If you spray your main color on a bit thicker, or do multiple layers, it becomes more and more subtle. Like on the black, you can't even really see it's there. I know it looks really rough. That's because I hand brushed it, and the paint had all the little bubbles and hand brush texture and all that stuff. Now this one is airbrush. This one's a little bit different. Here I didn't use multiple colors. I just used black and white for the base coat and then sprayed the main color on top. So you don't have the color variations, but you still get the tone variations. So I think what I'm going to do is, rather than hand brushing on, because it does give that rough appearance, I'm going to airbrush on the multiple colors around the kit, like the red and the yellow, the blue and the green and the purple and white. So I'm going to do those little spots all over the kit, and then I'll go over it with my main colors. And since I'm doing the green colony color version, I'll be using 2 shades of green and then gray and a little bit of black. So I am going to go ahead and get started. And I'm now just removing some of the masking tape. Not really a very exciting process, removing masking tape, but it is satisfying. Well, at least if your masking was done well. If your masking wasn't done well, then sometimes removing the tape can be kinda frustrating, but thankfully so far that hasn't been the case this time around. So far all my masking's turned out pretty good on this kit. Most of the masking was just the metallic parts for the joints, the gunmetal. I did a bit of shading on the gunmetal. I went in and shaded with, like I did a base coat of regular gunmetal, and then I post-shaded with some dark gunmetal, basically metallic black. And then I went in with a little bit of clear brown and did a little post-shading with a clear brown just to add, throw a little bit of color in there. And I think it worked out pretty well. Okay, so the paint job, or at least the main basic part of the paint job, is now complete. And I just wanted to show off some of the results. And you can see that multicolor technique up under. Honestly, I think I made it a little bit too subtle. You can still see it in some of the areas. I think when I added a little bit of highlighting to this light green, it kind of took it away, because you can definitely see the multicolor pattern in the darker areas where I didn't highlight. You can see a lot better there. So you can see it shows up really well where I didn't highlight. So I think that highlighting I did kind of toned it down a bit too much. But a lot of masking, a whole lot of masking on this kit. Most of the masking was actually just the gunmetal parts, like these vents here, and then I did mask and airbrush the red on the insides of all these thrusters. Did a little heat staining on those, and then red on the inside. A lot of masking on the backpack. There's the head. Looking pretty good. I did do a little bit of hand painting, just the really small stuff. Zoom in a bit, like that little gunmetal detail on the side of the head. I hand painted that. I did airbrush the insides of these thrusters, but these smaller ones, I just hand brushed that red there. And then bottom of the feet, that's all airbrush. And let's see, I airbrushed the red inside that thingy, but the silver I just did with a hand brush. So overall, I'm actually pretty happy with it. The multicolor shows up really well on the thighs, so you can see there, and also shows up really well on the forearms. I didn't get the green paint too awfully thick on these, so it looks really good. And basically, the intention of that technique is kind of like black basing on military models, but with multiple colors, so that not only do you get tonal variations, but you'll get some hue variations in there as well. Did some metallic shading on all my metallic parts. Here's the bazooka. Got a lot of nice shading. I did the base coat in gunmetal, and then did post shading with a darker gunmetal, and then went in with some clear brown and did some post shading with the clear brown, and I think that also came out really good, because it adds a little bit of hue variation and just a little kind of a scorched look to the gunmetal parts. And I did that pretty much on all the gunmetal. As you can see, it's got that little bit of a brown tint to it, like there on the elbow joint there. So I'm actually really happy with the way this is turning out, and I can hardly wait to get around to weathering this thing, because I think the weathering is going to be really, really fun. This particular kit didn't come with decals. I know the original version was supposed to, but I got the HUC Xeon War in the Pocket decal set, so I'll probably use some of these Cyclops team and Xeon symbols, and then I've just got some like generic water slides that I'll throw in here. I'm not going to go too crazy with the decals because I want to focus more on the weathering, so I'll probably keep the decals pretty minimal on this kit. So that about does it for this work in progress video, and the next one will be all weathering. So with that, I'll see you guys next time.